Hi everybody, it's Xuron. Today I'm going to show you how to make this leaf ring. I think that this will be great for fall. It's very fall inspired and looks like it just has two little leaves and it is an adjustable ring. So if you want to see how to make this, then just keep watching. I'm starting with two pieces of wire that are about 9 inches long, and this is 18 gauge wire. You could use 20, but this ring is a little more sturdier if you use 18 due to the nature of like the little leaves that we're going to make. So after you have your 9-inch pieces, you want to leave yourself some room here on the end. This is going to be used to make the leaves, and the central portion is going to be the band. So I'm going to leave yourself several inches here and then grab on and start weaving your band. You can do whatever weave you want. You can use whatever gauge weaving wire that you want, but I'm using some 26 gauge weaving wire, and everything I have is raw copper round dead soft. And of course you can use other metals as well. So I just put my wire right in between, and I'm just holding the little tail, and then I'm going up, and then I am going around the top wire, and then I'm bringing it to the front, and I'm going all the way down across both wires. Let me just do this so it's a little easier. And then I'm going up over just the bottom wire, up again over just the top wire, and then up and down across the front of both wires. So if you are looking up close, it looks like a little loop around the bottom wire, the top wire, and then both. That's the pattern. And right now it's still a little spaced out. I do recommend pushing it together quite often, as this pattern, once it gets too long, it becomes quite difficult to push it together. But here's what it looks like, a little bit spaced out, so you can see the little wraps, the little loops. So maybe that'll make it easier for you to see. And then you do want to squish it so it starts looking like this. So what you want to do is weave this, or whatever weave that you chose, around your wires until they are long enough to make your band. So once it's quite long, you're going to start bending it around a ring mandrel, or like a chapstick tube if you don't have a ring mandrel, because this is an adjustable ring, so it doesn't have to be a very specific size. You can kind of open and close it a little bit. So you will want to bend it until the beginning of your wrap almost meets up with the end of your wrap. So you're wrapping pretty much the entire band around. You don't need to have like a space in between. Alright, so once you have your band, and make sure your weave meets up or even overlaps a little bit. You don't want there to be a gap. My wire is like turning my fingers black. It must be tarnished. So I trimmed off my little weaving wire, and I pinched down the little end so it's not sticking up. And then this next part, I personally find it easiest to do by hand. You can try using round nose pliers or something, but this is the easiest for me, is just doing it by hand. And I mean, it is a little tricky. It is something that might take a little bit of practice, but we're going to be bending the wires in the shape of the leaves. So what I'm going to do is take, start whatever end you want to start at, and I'm going to take one of these wires, and I'm going to bend it in a loop shape. Like that. And then I am continuing, and I'm making another loop, but this time I'm trying to make it a little smaller. And what you can do is you can use your pliers to kind of line these up, and then also to squish them a little bit, because if you squish it with your pliers, it'll make it a little more like longer this way, more like a actual leaf versus a perfectly, perfect circle. You don't want it to be a perfect circle. Then I'm trimming my wire. I'm taking my round nose pliers and I'm making a little round loop. So the goal is to have 3 little loops getting smaller, smaller, and smaller, and then you do want this to be a little bit lower. So now I'm going to do the same thing with this wire, and I'm just trying to make similar sized shaped loops. And because this is 18 gauge wire, it's thicker and sturdier, and I feel like you don't have to worry as much about this, you know, bending too much out of shape and out of place. This is thicker wire, but you could try, especially if you're doing this with like 20 gauge wire, you could try. This would involve opening this ring up, hammering this a little bit to make it even sturdier. So this is one side of the ring. Now it's time to make the other side, which is the exact same thing. 3 loops. I like to tighten it and then undo it. See that? That makes it have that nice elongated shape. And the last little piece. So I do want this to be nice and close together. This is where you can use your pliers now to just adjust everything. Now you want to slide it on your ring mandrel because the leaves are sticking straight up, whereas the ring is round. So you want to just gently press them down. You don't want to bend them too much out of shape. So just kind of go slow as you bend these little leaves around the ring mandrel. But basically, that is it. And here is the finished piece of the leaf ring. And I think it looks nice. So this is adjustable. It can open up a little bit, but because of the way the leaves are, it can only open up so much. Like if I slide it on my ring mandrel to like a bigger size, it will open up, but because the leaves are touching, that may prevent it from opening up too much. So it's not like adjustable from, you know, size 5 to size 11 or any, it's like a smaller range. I would say that this is about, you know, you could wear like a 5 or a 6, and then it can go up to like an 8.5, you know, so it's adjustable, but not super adjustable. So here is the finished piece after being oxidized. I really like the dimension that you get with the leaves, especially after oxidizing it. And I do have a video on how to oxidize rock copper. So that is it. And if you want to support me and my channel, then just click on the little I right up there. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.